This is a lot of the way Christians look at supernatural evil. Like, how in the world are we supposed to beat this? Well, the hive mind's greatest weakness is its own nature. And this is the point of biblical theology, I think, that really comes through well in the show. What do I mean by that? The hive mind cannot conceive of thoughts that are outside the collective. Now, once it learns something about what the characters are doing, it never forgets. But it cannot anticipate thinking and activity beyond its own collective. Now, the show presents the characters making decisions and banding together and basically just doing what they can and hoping it works. They present that the good result of all that is serendipity. But that's actually the way Providence works. We make a big mistake when we think that God is only present in the spectacular, like, supernatural gifts or something like that. This is why I love movies like Signs. And I've actually shown Signs in theology classes that I've taught and required it for viewing, because there's no better movie illustration of how Providence works. Everything in that movie matters in the end. Everything. And that's the way Stranger Things as a TV show operates. These things come together because they can't be anticipated by evil. Now, the show doesn't credit God for bringing things together. But if you think about Providence, God is at work all the time. It's the unseen hand. All of our lives work this way. If we look back on our lives, we begin to realize, and we give it some thought, we begin to realize that our lives are the concatenation of, do I make the right turn or the left turn? Do I say yes or do I say no? Do I make this decision or that decision? Or being present for a conversation or not being present for a conversation. These are things over which we make decisions, but ultimately we don't have any control how one thing builds to another and how they're all connected. Okay, that's Providence. That's the unseen hand of Providence, an interested providential God. This is the way life works. We don't have to have our free will removed for this. In fact, God is big enough to bring people and occasionally supernatural agents into our life to get us to choose A instead of B. And if we choose B, he's interested enough to keep trying, to keep moving, to keep working. And he doesn't have to strip us of a quality he lent to us when he made us his imagers to pull this off. He's big enough that he doesn't have to do that. And I think the show wonderfully illustrates how a vastly more powerful evil cannot keep up with Providence. It cannot account for all these things outside the collective. What it is its greatest weakness. It's its point of vulnerability. And when you have 11 in the picture here as one of these things it cannot anticipate, again, she's the Christ figure, it's just a wonderful illustration of how she is central to everything that succeeds for good in the show. She's not what she is without her suffering, her sacrifice. She is hidden from the shadow in plain sight initially, and then he learns. And then we have, again, a great metaphor for spiritual warfare. It's a cat and mouse game, but its nature is its very weakness. And her decisions and the decisions of those around her who are members of her family, the family of God, the body of Christ. Again, all these metaphors are working in the way the show portrays how these kids survive and how evil is defeated. It's just a wonderful portrayal of how we should believe that God is hidden in the details. Okay? He is there. We don't have to wait for something big and spectacular. He will show up because he's been there the whole time. And it will come together if we just do the things set before us to do and trust God with the results. So if you're looking for, what is God's will for my life? Well, be godly and then do the things that Providence has put you in this place at this time with these people. Just be Jesus to them. And God will reveal more things to you. He will create circumstances in which he needs and wants you to partner with him to act and to do things. Just trust him with the results. Do your job, trust him with the results, and supernatural evil will not be able to outflank that. These are very simple things, but they're really profound.